Hey there, Bobby Klink here from Your Online Genius. Wanted to drop in today. I'm doing a series of lives, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. They're going to be around noon Eastern time. And today I wanted to bust a myth. I wanted to kind of shoot down what is probably the biggest thing that I see online entrepreneurs doing from the legal side that's wrong. And it's not like a huge mistake where they're costing themselves, but it's a mistake that is costing them mindset issues, et cetera. And that is too many online entrepreneurs are worried that other people are going to steal their stuff. They're worried that people are going to steal their freebies. They're worried that people are going to steal their courses. They're worried about all of those kinds of things. And so what they do is they end up spending a lot of mental bandwidth on these issues. And I just want to tell you, stop doing that. Seriously, do not worry about people stealing your stuff. I know it's hard. I know it seems counterintuitive. I know coming from a lawyer, you're probably saying, wait, what are you talking about? Shouldn't I be worrying about this stuff? People are stunned when I tell them this. But the reality is that when you spend time worrying about people stealing your content, stealing your freebie, stealing your course, all that's doing is getting in your way of actually building your business. And there's a couple reasons. Number one, it's a mindset issue, right? A lot of people end up kind of paralyzed by fear. And so they don't want to act because they're worried, well, someone might take my stuff and I can't do this until, I do that. And the reality is that even if you do everything right from a legal perspective, people are going to steal your stuff. Let that sink in. People are going to steal your stuff. You could complain about it. You could be upset about it. You could say, hey, people shouldn't steal my stuff. Hey, et cetera. It's going to happen. Literally, I was in a conversation in one of the groups I'm in recently, yesterday and today, someone posted a link to this website where you can actually, get access to a bunch of people's online courses. And this was a thing that was posted like in the Kajabi group. I think it was posted in some other different groups. And somebody raised it and said, this can't be legal, Ken. I said, no, it's not. Those people are literally stealing from people. It is copyright infringement. But guess what? It's going to happen. If you create great content, if you create a great online course, people are going to rip it off. Some people are going to do it blatantly, like was the case with this situation. They're literally going to screen flow things and just, then put those copies up and try to sell them to people. And then other people are going to do it more subtle ways. They're going to take your content and literally, repackage it with very little, but basically copy you word for word. And guess what? It's going to happen. And guess what you're going to do about it? Nothing. Now, you might send what's called a DMCA takedown notice. You might basically send a notice to say, hey, get this off your site. But if it's the really, scammy people, and the bad people, they're not going to listen to you. And so there's not much you can do about it. And so worrying about that is a waste of your time. It's a waste of your mental bandwidth. It's a waste of everything. All you're doing is cluttering your mind and thinking about things that you really shouldn't be spending any time thinking about because it does you no good. I'm a big believer in, it's the serenity prayer. Some people here know it as the Alcoholics Anonymous prayer. It's Lord, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom always to know the difference. Well, copyright infringement, trademark infringement, for the most part, falls in that stuff that you can't change. You can't do anything about it. So you shouldn't spend time worrying about it. Instead, what you should spend time worrying about is securing the stuff you can control. That means things like using written agreements. It means setting up a business like an LLC. It means doing those kinds of things. And it means not stepping on other people's rights. So making sure you're not infringing people's copyrights and you're not infringing people's trademarks. Those are things you should worry about, because those are things that are 100% in your control and that you can take care of, and you can make sure you're doing it right. And when you do those things right, it sets you up in a big way. And so let me talk about some of the things that's actually going to mean for you. That's going to mean, for example, that you are going to end up protecting some of your stuff from having people steal it, because you'll use contracts with independent contractors so that those contractors can't use your information to then give to someone else that they're working for, or, your employees can't take your information with them when they leave and set up a competing business, right? Those are the kinds of thefts of information you should be worried about because they are the ones you can do something about by having written agreements in place, by using confidentiality clauses, by doing those kinds of things. And so again, as you're building your business, as you're trying to scale your business and get it bigger and bigger, what you have to do is figure out what are the things that you can actually take some control of. And think of it as like your 5% activities. What are the things that you get the most bang for the buck? And on the legal perspective, that's not worrying about copyright infringement. Copyright infringement is going to happen. People are going to steal your content, and just accept that and move on. And so that's kind of my tidbit for today. A short and sweet one. I just had to address it because this is an issue that comes up over and over and over again. And candidly, I hear people using it as an excuse not to do anything. Like in groups where people are creating courses, I will see people post these different, places where people are knocking off courses, and they're just so worried about it. And they just say, well, it's not even worth doing because people are going to rip me off. That's the mindset that's going to keep you from actually building something scalable. I mean, if you look at the big names in the industry, and I deal with them, I talk with them, they don't worry about that stuff. They understand it's going to happen. Maybe they send out a letter when they see someone do it, but they don't spend time worrying about it, and they don't let it stop them from taking action because they know that it's just a part of being in business. And as you grow, it will happen more and more. As you get followers, for example, let me tell you what's going to happen. People are going to do what's called funnel hack you. They're going to go through your process, see what you're doing, and try to copy it. And some of that's fine, right? Some of that's perfectly allowed. But I'll tell you, there are some times where people do it a little bit too much. And so literally where, I will look at a website and I'm like, this looks identical to some big influencer's website. And I know it. And it's like, okay, well, obviously that person is a follower or just wanted to copy, and it's going to happen. So accept it. And what I like to say, it's kind of like taxes. You want to have this problem. You want people stealing your content. That means you've done good. That means that the stuff that you've created is good, it's meaty, and people like it. So strive. And again, here's my counterintuitive thought for the day. You want people to steal your stuff, because when they do, that's a sign you've arrived. So take that as your mantra. Say, I want people to steal my stuff. If you take that attitude, you will be in the right perspective to actually start growing your business and to not worry about the legal stuff that you can't control. So that's it for today. If you want to kind of dive deeper and really start dealing with the legal stuff the right way, I'd love for you to join my free academy. It's a free training portal that's got 30 plus videos that walks through all of this stuff, including, I'll be honest, some of the stuff I'm telling you not to worry about, but it teaches you how to avoid making a mistake and stepping on other people's toes. But it also talks about the stuff you can control. And you can join that by heading over to youronlinegenius.com/academy. Again, absolutely free. It's just a great resource to help online entrepreneurs get their legal basics and understand what the principles are. So that's it for today. I'll talk to you later.